and going through their pregame warm-ups, trying to get loose and focused here before tip. Coming up, live coverage of this Tuesday night NBA game here on 2K Sports. And a moment to check out who the San Antonio Spurs have coming up. On Sunday, they'll be matching up against Steven Adams and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then on Thursday, they'll defend home court against the Orlando Magic.
And you know, for that matchup with the Warriors, it's the second game of a back-to-back. So you know there'll be some heavy legs out there. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes its toll on your body.
Now the starting group for San Antonio. They've got C.J. McCollum, Amen Thompson out there with Dillon Brooks. Then there's Jalen Brunson, and it's in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for the Bulls, they've got Rui Hachimura, Christian Brown out there with Tyrese Halliburton. Then it's DeMar DeRozan, and it's Hartenstein in at the 5, roaming the paint. And close to a quarter of the way into the season now, Grant, how aware are the players of where they are in the season?
You know, B.A., you generally are aware of where you are in the year, but you rarely see guys counting games played or anything like that.
Shot clock at 6. Halliburton finds Hachimura. From deep three-point range, Brooks with the rebound. And Brooks has got the ball here for the San Antonio Spurs. Here's Thompson. 2 shots, 2 makes. Off to a good start.
You know, inside is where Thompson excels, and the concentration allowing him to finish there.
In each of the last 2 years, RJ, the Bulls have been eliminated in the play-in tournament.
Yes, they've been just about 500 each of those seasons, so Chicago has been in that dreaded middle ground. Not contenders while also not picking high in the draft. That is the worst place any NBA team could be.
The Bulls with another miss.
And even after airtight defense like that, you still just expect him to hit those kind of shots.
Pass to Brooks. The kick out to Brunson. Out of bounds. It'll go to the Bulls. We'll go now to Allie LaForce, who spoke with Billy Donovan. Allie.
He feels the X factor in this one could be C.J. McCollum. Coach said his combination of scoring and playmaking is elite, and his teammates follow his lead. We can't afford to let him go off tonight. That would make it an uphill battle. Brian?
Great work, Allie. Thanks. Aldama's checked in for Chicago. Here's Brown. McCollum defends. Shot is up. And once again, off the mark by Chicago. And it's a Spurs ball. They defeated Milwaukee in their last game.
And most of the arena was totally against them. But they looked inward, trusted each other, and made good plays.
Even with all that noise, when they had the ball, it never rattled them. Their offense was in tune like it was a home game.
And it's Brunson missing. Chicago has gone 0 for 3 from downtown. Halliburton, the pass to Brown. Aldama with it. DeRozan for 3. And Klingon pulls it down. Pass to Brunson. And he lays it up and in.
Inside Brunson is pretty deadly, just dropping his shot in.
Halliburton with the ball. Over Brunson. And again, no good by Chicago. And that does it for the first quarter. San Antonio on top. They're up by 6. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter in this one. What do you guys think about San Antonio here in this one?
Well, it's simple. When you can dominate the boards at both ends, you can control the second chance touches.
And rebounding numbers, sometimes we overlook them, but they can have a big effect on the outcome.
So on the floor for the Spurs, they've got Jalen Brunson, Murray out there with Jock Landale. Then it's Malik Beasley, and it's Watson in at the small forward position. Here's the teardrop. Ooh, rejected by Horford.
Still a tremendous player. Al Horford using that experience.
Great open look there. Brown's gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
I know what they say, defense wins championships, but you need some bucket getters too now.
Here's Horford. Well-placed jumper from the free throw line. Horford's got his first points of the game.
Mid-range can be challenging for Horford, but he manages to get this one to fall.
Down low. Here's Landale. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. And for an up-and-coming San Antonio Spurs team, Grant, what's the key for them in your mind?
I'd have to say, B.A., that it's patience. You know, young guys need time to develop their game and learn from experience. You can't expect people to become stars overnight.
Hachimura's checked in for Chicago. DeMar DeRozan comes in for Bogdanovich. Klingin, he's checked in for San Antonio. Dylan Brooks comes in for Watson. Brunson against Schroeder. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Hachimura. From deep. That one falls. Coming off Schroeder's feed. Schroeder's got 3 assists now in this one.
More of an inside the arc guy. Hachimura can be dangerous from range.
And we've got a timeout called by Greg Popovich. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players. Tyrese Halliburton's checked in for Chicago. Thompson, he's checked in for San Antonio. C.J. McCollum comes in for Beasley. There's McCollum with the 3. Rebounded by Halliburton. And so it's Halliburton with it. He brings it up for the Bulls. They've only given up 1 point in the second quarter. That one coming at the line. And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Jalen Brunson's craft sets him apart. He said, quote, "I've always played with my instincts and tried to see the game a couple plays ahead. As I've gotten older, that part of my game has gotten wiser and better, but I'm still learning." Ryan, that's a scary thought for the rest of the league.
He's already plenty dangerous, Allie.
Looking confident inside. At 6'8", Hachimura is more than capable of inflicting some damage down there.
Schroeder, he's checked in for Brown. And San Antonio also making a switch. Beasley's checked in. Richard, it's nice to have the versatility of a guy like Hachimura. Equally comfortable at either forward position.
Well, he's got the size and strength of a modern-day NBA power forward, but he also has the ability to stretch the floor and knock down a 3. That's a nice combo.
McCollum against Halliburton. Now here's McCollum. Tight defense on him. Misses from short range. Halliburton outside. Outside Schroeder. Horford against McCollum. They double team Horford.
And they can run out the clock here. No need to rush it.
Yeah, you don't have to be quick. You just have to be deliberate.
Here's McCollum. Oh, a clear foul there on the missed shot. So he'll get a pair at the line. That's on Al Horford.
And McCollum isn't afraid of contact, especially when he's being aggressive and looking to score.
And the second free throw is good. Here's Halliburton. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. It's going to be on Amin Thompson. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
At the line for Chicago, Tyrese Halliburton. Taking 2
Free throw good. Halliburton. And both free throws good for Halliburton.
No surprise there. He's about as automatic as it gets from the stripe. I hope I didn't jinx him.
And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Chicago ahead, up by Allie as always, thank you. We'll be right back to begin the third quarter right after this.
The energy in their hometown is electric, man. You can tell these players are loving the positive attitudes.
And since we have a chance, let's see our award winner. And that's a wrap on half.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been a fairly even one. Well, Grant, with players getting bigger and more athletic, do you support moving the restricted area out?
Yeah, B.A., I would. We've seen a lot of injuries when defenders slide underneath elevated players on the drive. So cutting down that risk makes a lot of sense.
Tyrese Halliburton is out there with Christian Brown. Then it's Rui Hachimura. Then there's Isaiah Hartenstein. And it's DeRozan in at the 3 spot. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls.
And look at the vision from Halliburton. Love seeing ball movement like this.
Halliburton against Brunson. Brooks outside. Yes, and a nice assist from Brunson.
And what kind of defense was that? You can't give up wide open threes like that. What are you doing?
Well, I don't think anyone predicted that Jalen Brunson would become the player he is today, Grant.
Yeah, that's for sure, B.A. Or he definitely wouldn't have been a second-round pick. He's a hard worker, a competitor, and an elite offensive player.
Just 3 to shoot. Puts up a deep 3. And it's DeRozan missing.
It's never easy from that distance, but we see him drill those and shoot around all the time.
Even though he is capable of hitting that shot, I'd like to see him work for a better look in that situation. A clean start to the half for them, knocking down their first 3 shots.
And timeout is called by Billy Donovan. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy here. Richard, when it comes to the Bulls, they have one of the most committed fan bases in the league.
Yeah, the Chicago fans are for real. The Bulls are routinely at the top of the list for total attendance. Even on the road, they're usually Bulls fans sprinkled in every crowd.
Keegan Murray's checked in for Thompson. Hartenstein passes to Brown. Here's DeRozan. Up and over Brooks. Oh, DeRozan getting it done inside.
Working to find the high percentage look. DeRozan makes sure he converts.
Brunson passes to Murray. There's 1:12 left in the 3rd quarter. And it's Brunson missing.
That's his shot, and one I'm sure he wants back.
Hachimura against Murray. Halliburton looking over the floor. McCollum against DeRozan. DeRozan double teamed. And Klingon pulls it down. Klingon's got his 4th rebound in this one. McCollum with it. Halliburton picks him up. Rejected by Halliburton. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Halliburton. Chicago making some changes. Al Horford's checked in for Hartenstein. Aldama comes in for Hachimura. And it's Schroeder in for DeRozan. Beasley, the pass to Watson. Knocks down the long J. Watson's gotten himself going with a triple. His first basket of the game. 3 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Now here's Halliburton. Horford outside. To the middle. Schroeder passes to Aldama. Here's Halliburton. That one a tad offline, but it drops in for him. And the Bulls lead by 1.
Nice ball movement there. That's how you break down the defense.
For 3, McCollum. No good from 3-point range. 3/4 of play and a close one here. Chicago ahead, leading. All right, let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Serving it up on a platter, that is a beautiful dish. And 2 teammates on the same page, woo.
Well, what a terrific game it's been so far. With this 4th quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. All right, on the floor for San Antonio starting the 4th quarter. Amen Thompson out there with Dylan Brooks. Then there's C.J. McCollum. Then there's Jalen Brunson. And it's Clingan in at the center position.
And a nice bump for their offense this half. Now shooting over 50% for the game.
Brunson against Halliburton. To the wing, right side, to the paint. Here's Thompson, and the layup is good off the glass.
You see there, Thompson does a good job of sneaking into the lane and finishing.
Hachimura outside. Back to Halliburton. Hachimura up top, defended by Thompson. Halliburton against Brunson. Floats one up. Halliburton, no good. And so Thompson will bring it up for San Antonio. And here's Brunson. Brown grabs the board.
I thought he had that all sewn up, but somehow the defense just threw him off.
Hachimura finds Halliburton. Rebound by San Antonio. There's a minute 12 left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Brunson. And he's going to the line for two. The official saw contact while he was going up.
An aggressive pump fake move by Brunson, pulling the defender in close.
And so he's good on both free throws, and that gives him a lead.
In a tight game, he is exactly who you wanted at the line.
There's 57 seconds left in the final quarter. And the Spurs shooting around 50% of the game so far. Rebounded by Halliburton. And it's the Bulls' ball. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. Jalen Brunson picks one up.
Oh, forcing the issue. Halliburton in attack mode.
And so he's good on both free throws, and that gives him a lead.
And this is how you execute. Creating any type of separation is huge right now.
And we've got a timeout called by Greg Popovich. There is a lot on the line, and he is determined to make sure everyone's on the same page. Obviously, not a lot of time to work with. What do you guys think we're going to see?
And it would be smart to go for a 2-for-1 right now.
8-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Fires the three. And once again, off the mark by Chicago. San Antonio with the ball. They trail by one. Halliburton with the steal. He's all alone. Halliburton all the way.
Talk about stepping up in a big way.
What a huge play coming through when it matters most.
And Greg Popovich has called timeout. Great time to call his guys into the huddle at a very tense moment in this game. Given the situation here, what sort of strategy needs to be top of mind?
If they leave the arc open, take it. But it may be safer to get a quick two and then foul.
Yeah, time is the enemy at this point, so I think I'd go for the tie and avoid playing the foul game.
And here's Thompson for three. Can't knock in the three. And now we've got an intentional foul.
Yeah, just trying to keep this game alive. Not a bad foul right there.
First free throw is good, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. Oh, Thompson from deep three-point land. And the miss. So it's the Bulls taking the W in a close one. This one was in the balance right until the final seconds.
NBA, they showed their character when it mattered most, sending those fans home happy.
And that'll do it, folks. For Richard Jefferson, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce,